What is up, guys, and welcome back once again. My name is Jordan, also known as J Monster, and you're watching another Total War multiplayer battle. Today we are playing Third Age, and we are playing as Harad. We have brought for ourselves four units of Southron Warband, 3 units of Dismounted Serpent Guard, 2 units of Trollmen of Harad. We've got a couple units of Hashari hidden up here in the hills where our opponent can't see them. We've got 3 units of Serpent Guard of Harad. One of them has our General's Bodyguard in it, and he is hiding out back here with a couple of our Spearmen to keep him company. And we've got 2 units of Variag Lancers who are like they're like a medium cav. They're quite powerful in the charge. In addition to that, we've got 2 units of Corsair Archers. So we're pretty light on the range. I wanted to focus mainly on my infantry and on my cavalry. And our opponent today is the Kingdom of Dale, who is being played by a friend of mine. His name is Arrow to the Knee. He is hosting the Total War multiplayer tournament. The Total TW Center multiplayer tournament, rather, and this is not an official tournament battle. We're just having some fun messing around. But he has brought 1 unit of Horse Guards, 1 unit of Earls. Let's take a quick look, slow it down, take a quick look at all of his stuff. He's got 3 units of Barding Herd, 1 unit of Ravanian Gadrouts, who are Spearmen, 2 Ballistas, 1 unit of Dismounted Earls, couple units of Longbows, I think at least 2, 2 units of Othala Rangers, 2 units of Barding Marksmen, and 2 units of Ravanian Riders, and 2 units of Dale Swordsmen who are hiding up here on the flank near the Barding Herd. But let's get right into it. So my opponent here is feinting forward, so I move my, in order to check his advance, I move my Spearmen in front of my heavy infantry here, because even from the front, heavy cavalry can devastate heavy infantry, and I want to keep my Serpent Guard units intact. And to back them up, I've got a couple units of Variag Lancers here, and we're bringing up 2 units of our Serpent Guard. In addition to that, we are about to mobilize our Hashari, who are hiding up here in the hills. It's a forest battle, so even on the mini-map, he'll be able to see the unit, but in all of the chaos, he won't really know kind of what kind of unit it is and where it's coming from. So he's coming back in here with his Earls. This is actually where his general is, so he wants to try and keep this guy alive. But he's being very aggressive, which is what I like to see. It makes things so much more interesting when we don't just hide. Unfortunately, I had a bit of a micro mistake here. My troops got a little farther ahead of the lines than they should have, so we lost a number of our Spearmen. But we're bringing in our Serpent Guard here to tie down this General's Bodyguard unit. His Hiawatha Horse Guards are coming up here. He's letting loose with all of his arrows into the front of my Serpent Guard and into the backs of his Ravanian Riders. So we're checking this thrust here of his with 2 units of just a single unit of horsemen, which is very economical. We've got our Hashari coming in here to support our Trollmen, and we're bringing in a couple units of cav. So we do manage to surround this Dale cavalry force, and we managed to wipe out well over half the Earls, and we take down his general. So that was a very, very lucky play for us right here. I didn't actually know that his general was in that unit. I just happened to get lucky. And over here, he's bringing up some Dale Swordsmen in support of his Ravanian Riders. So we've got a big fight going on over here. And I see these guys coming in for a charge, so I'm going to move my Hashari in to attack them. They're going to get in the way and prevent these Swordmasters from doing a whole lot of damage. But his Horse Guard unit is almost completely wiped out. And we've got lots of cav support here to save our Hashari, who are quite lightly armored, so they'll take a lot of casualties on their own, unsupported against those Dale Horsemasters. So I did sally forward with my victorious Serpent Guard cav. Unfortunately, most of them are going to die. He's got quite an expansive array of archers back here, and he's moving all of his infantry forward. And he's managing to retreat his Romanian Riders. This is all that remains of his cav. Most of his heavy cav is gone. And he's getting some nice shots into the side and back of my troops there. So I see these guys coming forward, and I want to throw this heavily armored Serpent Guard in here against the Dale Swordsmasters. We really want to deny these guys a charge if you can. He's going to try and surround this formation of troops here. But luckily, I am bringing up some reinforcements in the back. But he is bringing his cavalry forward here for another assault on my cavalry. So seeing this, I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, move some Spearmen in front of them preemptively, and we're just going to pepper them with arrows and try and kill as many of them as we can. But over here, things are kind of grim. Our Dismounted Serpent Guard are wavering. They've got cavalry in the back of them, and they are going to start breaking and fighting to the death, so that's going to go very poorly for them. But I do start moving up another unit of Serpent Guard here, a fresh unit of Serpent Guard, and we still have 1 in reserve, which looks like we're going to throw in against his Earls here to try and block an assault on our Corsair Archers. Let's see what's going on up here. Oh, just slaughter. So that unit of Dale Swordsmen just got wiped out. And yeah, our Trollmen and our Hashari here are very bunched up, very prime targets for his his archer line back here. So we are going to sally forward with our Variag Lancers, try and disrupt this firing line back here. And that's going to be most of my strategy in this game is going to revolve around disrupting all of these missile troops and just trying to save my troops a lot of unnecessary death and destruction. So we get a nice charge off in here on these longbowmen. Take a lot of them with us. But these ballistas are going to start opening up here on our massed ranks of troops. So we did manage, it looks like, to push back some of this Dalish infantry here. In a one-on-one fight, the Serpent Guard are very good against the Barding Herd, but they are backed up by some Sword Masters here and some more Barding Herd on the flank. But we're going to stop them from flanking us and actually going to get a nice side charge here off on these Barding Herd. And we're going to take quite a lot of them down in that initial charge. So now that our back units are safe, we're going to start moving up our line here so that we have troops in the area locally to support our men. And we're going to start using our Corsair Archers here to put a little bit of pressure on his missile units over here. Because he's got a couple units of Bardian Marksmen who are very powerful, and they're just taking a bite out of our troops up here. So I want to put some pressure on them, try and limit the effectiveness of them if I can. But we are in here among one of his artillery batteries. I didn't realize at the time that he had two. So after I take this one out, I think that I'm kind of in the clear, but then I start seeing flying bolts flying through the air and skewering my troops. So it looks like his dismounted Earls here are in a very, very tough situation here. They're fighting against Hashari and Trollmen who are armor-piercing. And that is actually why I brought the Trollmen in the first place. One is that they are armor-piercing, and two, they each have 2 hit points. So they're quite difficult to kill and very powerful against heavy infantry like these guys. And you can see his ballista going off in the back there. They're taking some shots at my archers over here, which I don't think is the best use of his ammunition. I think he'd probably be better served just firing into my troops over here, possibly the Southron Warband, because they come in very handy much, much later. But I think most of his cav has been wiped out. Yeah, we're bringing in our Serpent Guard here, what remains of our General's Bodyguard, to try and get some charges off here on the side of these Dalish Swordmasters. Still got a couple units of Southron Warband in reserve, very healthy units, fresh, while he has committed most of our infantry. So we're in a pretty strong position right now. Although I didn't know it at the time because this battle was so hectic to play. It was so much fun. So yeah, he's putting a lot of pressure on my General's Bodyguard. Almost been entirely wiped out. We had a very costly charge here against the back of these Barding Herd as they were trying to flank our Trollmen and Hashari Murder Ball. So we did suffer quite a lot of casualties, about half the unit. It was just destruction. So he does still have some Ravenian riders here, and he's actually going to use them pretty well. Because I think at this point I've wiped out his cav, but he's got a nice opening right here. So it looks like we managed to get in amongst one of his other artillery units. These ones, they're not doing too badly. It looks like they managed to push back our infantry. So they're actually going to be a functional unit at the end of this. But yeah, he's getting a nice charge off here. Look at this, just beautiful with his Ravenian riders. It's going to decimate this unit, just so much damage. I did a pretty good job of protecting them up until now because I thought, most of his cav had been killed or routed. But they don't stick around very long, but damn, they take at least 30-something units with them. Very good charge off from there. So we do manage to rout these Barding Herd here with a second charge. Our General's Bodyguard getting a little bit of revenge. But that does free up. I think we've got 2 units of Trollmen of Harad in here, and that's going to free them up for some decisive play over here. We're going to go and take out this artillery battery as quickly as we possibly can. Most of his infantry has been destroyed, so we are managing to disrupt his archer line here. We've got our Hashari in amongst them. These guys are ready to rout. These guys here are chasing down the Athala Rangers. Yeah, we got them in behind. I think the Trollmen of Harad are probably moving up at this point. Yeah, it looks like they're just trying to turn around and reform. But over here, back to the infantry fight. His Barding Herd are relentless, just pushing against our troops. But we've brought up our reserves, so now they are very, very sorely outnumbered. And these guys are going to start to waver, and it won't be long before they break. Yeah, they're both wavering. There go the swordsmen. The Barding Herd over here are simply shaken for now, but it's not going to be very long. So these guys are starting to get crushed on the flanks here. We're starting to surround them. Yeah, they don't like that very much. Not at all. So I'm going to take advantage of a little bit of the chaos here and try and bring my General's Bodyguard in to hit these Dalish Swordmasters so they don't come back. And over here we've got a unit of Trollmen of Harad just kind of sitting here soaking up archer fire. Like I said, it was a very chaotic battle, especially in a force. It's hard to keep track of what everybody's doing. Our Hashari up here, looks like they've managed to pretty well destroy this unit of longbowmen. It was at like 90 something before, and now it's down to 56. But these Athala Rangers are taking some nice shots here against our Hashari. And I'm going to throw them into battle against them because these are much more deadly than longbowmen and much more potent in melee combat. So if we can take them out pretty early, then we're going to do well for ourselves. So we do get very aggressive with our general here. We push him forward and manage to rout this this ballista in the first charge, which is excellent. We got very lucky taking out his general early. All of his units are quite low morale at this point. So we do manage to sneak out of there with our general. He's down to 7 units. He's not going to be able to play much of a part left in this battle. But we are going to throw him in here. Oh, no, we're just going to clip these guys as we run by. I guess we were, we didn't want to stay around in range of his archers for too long. So we're moving up our infantry line here. We've been victorious over the Dalish infantry. We're going to run them all down. And it's just destruction. Just look at this. Dead bodies everywhere. So we are going to keep moving up our Corsair archers to try and support our main line. My archers are really meant to be more of just a nuisance than anything. But it looks like I don't think he meant to move his archers that close to my infantry. He might not have seen them coming. Or just didn't. Yeah, because they might be hard to see here. I'm in amongst all these bodies. But we've got like 2, 3 units, 3 very healthy units of spearmen here, and they're just going to chase these Dalish archers all the way across the field. And in the meantime, our vanguard of Trollmen of Harad and our Hashari are doing quite well. Although over here, these guys are given the business by all of these arrows just coming at them. Oh, look at this guy. They planted him in the ground as a grim totem to scare off any other people that invade their territory. But these guys are actually in a very tough spot. They've got this unit here that's very spread out. Good positioning on the part of my opponent here. He's spread them out so that I can only really kill a few of his units at a time, leaving the rest of them, and as well as the units behind them, free to fire on us. So it looks like I didn't actually see this before. It looks like he's moving his ballista crew back to the ballista, but they're not going to stick around very long, unfortunately. Not with my infantry coming in here. It's far too late for that. And over here we've got our Southron Warband moving up. His army is basically in full retreat at this point. Victory is largely assured, I believe. Let's watch these guys go in. It's just awesome. Oh, brutal. Just giving these guys the business. Hashari are amazing if you can use them to flank, which is what we did here. It helps with the tree canopy giving us cover. It gives us a lot more ability to maneuver and not be seen. Yeah, it looks like my trollmen here are getting in amongst these Athala Rangers. They do not like it. They do have pretty good morale, but with their general gone and a lot of their friends routing, yeah, they just passed this unit of Barding Marksmen here. They will come back, but it does scare the other troops. See my troops over here getting into this other unit of Athala Rangers. They're trying to turn around and get away, but they're just getting cut down by the dozens, and they're going to start to rout. They don't like that at all. And these Athala Rangers are going to start to run, and that's going to be just about the end of the battle. These guys will reform here. We're going to see a bit of a last stand from the Dale player. But by and large, his troops have been run off the field. He doesn't have any infantry left at all. No infantry, no cav, just his archers. He's trying to skirmish me, which is good play on his part. It's a good idea, trying to set up a little barrier so that his troops can reform behind him. But you can see archer fire here coming in, pouring in from our Corsair archers in the back while our infantry moves forward. So we had some pretty good positioning in this battle, and it really helped us win, because if we'd have lost our archers early on, they really helped us put on just enough pressure to keep his archer units on the run. I was focus firing both units on one unit at a time, and they also provided a nice distraction, because if he had been shooting our troops with his ballista instead, we might have been a lot worse off in the end of this battle than we are right now. So you can see my general's bodyguard in the back there, doing something useful with his time, managing to rout a couple units here. These longbowmen and these Athala Rangers are gone, as well as these Barding Marksmen. So that's pretty much all of the troops that he has left. That is the end of the battle. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was an amazing battle. This is probably the most fun I've had in a Total War multiplayer battle in quite some time. So let's take a look at the casualties here. Our army did pretty well. One of our Hashari came in with 154, largely archers, I believe. But I think quite a lot of them were the swordsmen of Dale, who they managed to do quite a lot of damage to, denying them a charge. The Trollmen of Harad coming in first overall with 171. Our cav units did pretty well. 94, 53, not so great with the other one with a paltry 29. But our Serpent Guard, they held the line. They did reasonably well. And of course, their archers, of course, coming in with 78 and 64. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you again with the conclusion of the Total War multiplayer tournament. I'm going to be playing against Admiral Thrawn, and we've got 3 awesome battles coming at you. So I hope you guys will stick around, and I'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.